35 years ago in 1990, the first ever Miata was put into production and sold throughout the world, becoming one of the best sold roadsters of all time. And now in 2025, here we are, and they're still making these things. We are currently on the ND generation. But if you're looking at this one closely, or if you read the title, this isn't an ND Miata, this is an RF Miata. Now, what does that mean? It means it's a little bit different, and that's what we're gonna be discussing today. Seeing if it's still worthy of that Miata name, even though it's technically not the next in line in that generation. My name is Jason, and you're watching Got an X. Miatas even today still have a very similar look to what they did all the way back in 1990 because these things look absolutely stunning. Yes, they've gone a little bit more aggressive to get with the times and everything like that. You no longer have those pop-up headlights making that fun little cute face. You kind of have more of an aggressive face if you look at how the grille is functioned all together, but I still think it looks nice. Now, a few key details that we're going to talk about in this car. First, you have 17-inch rims, which are nice, but this thing is low to the ground, giving you that nice driving experience that we're going to talk about later in the video, which is going to be the most important part of the Miata. Make sure to stay tuned until then. But basically, the Miata right here, the RF, there's not going to be too many things that change besides the fact that you are going to have a hardtop convertible, which I absolutely can't get enough of. This is probably the best part about the car. We'll touch on that a little bit more when we go inside. I'll show you how it works and everything along those lines. But now, one thing I want to start with is if we go underneath the hood, now pardon me, I'm gonna have to drop to the floor to be able to pop this thing. But you have a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. It creates 181 horsepower and I believe 154 pound-feet of torque. And this thing is honestly pretty nice. I don't know. I think this car is so unbelievably light that no matter what engine you put in here, it's gonna feel interactive and great through in and throughout. And I really do think that this is an underrated engine for the car just because of how light it is in actuality. This thing kind of flies, it feels like. And I really do like that about the Miata. It's kind of a subversion of expectation. You look at a car this small, a car this cheap, you kind of don't expect it to do all that much. But the reason the Miata is so good overall is because it does more than you would expect. It's kind of a sleeper car in my opinion. I think a lot of people overlook it because of its stature, but I really do think it does a lot of good things. Now, I am going to say the worst part about the car, and we're going to definitely touch on that, is if we're going to go on the inside over here, because this thing absolutely stinks on the inside, especially when you're someone of my stature. I'm a little bit too tall for this car. This is designed for people who are a little bit more average height. But if you go in here, you'll start to realize that I'm pretty dang cramped no matter what I do. If you have the hardtop open, my head sticks out the window and it's a little bit better, but driving the entire way here, my head is crammed in the car. But I don't want to let that take away from the absolute amazingness that this car is on its own, because it is definitely a fun driving experience. Now, moving on the inside, the only big key changes that are going to change from this is a 2020 to the 2025 is you're going to get a better screen. I mean, which is appreciated. I mean, this screen is not that good. This thing is super tiny. It's a little bit blurry. It's just not really the best quality of things, but that's kind of how I feel about the Miata. If you're going to look at everything on the inside here and be like, well, it's not the highest quality, you're looking at a Miata for the wrong reason. These cars are definitely meant to be practical, affordable, and fun to drive. They're not necessarily meant to be the most luxurious cars on the planet. You do have very comfortable seats that hug you when you turn and everything like that. The steering wheel is top notch. I absolutely love the red Mazda emblem in here. And I don't even know if this is standard or what it is, but it looks nice and I'm a big fan of that. This is going to be a 6-speed automatic transmission, which I think it's a little bit too much flack. I know if you're gonna get a Miata, you probably want to drive it in manual, but I think the automatic does a good job of keeping you going and it feels pretty good nonetheless. Now, the inside here, instead of the rest of the car, I think is going to be the weakest part. I think the outside looks great, but now the real important thing is driving, so let's go straight into that. Now, I don't want to get too ahead of myself because I did promise to show you guys real quick the hardtop convertible. On the inside, all you're gonna have to do is push down on this button to close it and up on the button to open it. And if you open it, oops, sorry, I forget that the windshield drop you guys are mounted on there, but it definitely scared me a little bit because I thought the camera just fell off. But basically all you do, it's automatic and it's really, really nice. And I think for a hardtop, it's actually so unbelievably convenient. I think it's just one of the best convertible options out there. And it's just so easy to go to and from convertible that you can enjoy it in no matter how you want, when you want, or whatever. And I think that's a great thing. Now, brace tightly as I'm gonna bump you guys back up, but there we go. And now we're gonna get to the driving review. Now, for driving the Miata, there's a few key things I'd like to touch on first and foremost. And I guess we're gonna start with the performance and the power of this vehicle. It's not really there. Yeah, you feel a little bit quick off the ground, you have good traction, everything like that, and you can get up to like decently high speeds, but power is not what you're paying for in a car like this. It really does not do much in that capacity. But the big thing that absolutely makes the Miata sell is this thing is so much fun to drive because of how nice it handles. I mean, every single movement you make in this car feels directly from your brain to the wheels on the road. I mean, it is so unbelievably nice, and I absolutely love that for the Miata. I think that this is the reason that the car is around. That's the reason it has such a cult following and fan base. It's just, at the end of the day, the Miata does everything you'd want it to do driving-wise. You can do tight turns, you can do, it's just, the big struggle with it though is going to be that acceleration. That 0 to 60 really isn't there, and I don't know. I think it depends on what kind of car person you are if you're gonna like it. And I think that's what it comes down to, because me personally, I try and see the better in every car and the things to like and whatnot, and I guess I can say that the Miata isn't made for me. I mean, actually, I can say that with complete confidence. And I can't see out the window because this black bar is in the way, and I'm like, genuinely, like, I'm ducking the entire time I'm driving. But you know what? Taking it from an objective standpoint, it's fun. I mean, yeah, I can crane my neck for a little bit and have a good time here. I mean, it's just so responsive. Everything I do, I feel like I have complete control, and I absolutely love that. And I just think that the Miata, on its own, as like your everyday car, isn't really good, you know? But if the Miata is a car that you take out on weekends, or you do something fun with it, and it's you know, an affordable, cheap, fun car, I think it just knocks it out of the park. I mean, I absolutely love the Miata for that reason. And I guess to wrap up, I personally don't think the Miata is for everyone. You know, I have a friend of mine who absolutely loves his Miata. It's a Gen 1, I think I said that earlier. And it's really nice. I like it, and it has kind of built this soft spot in my heart for the Miata because of how fondly he cares about the car. You know, it's not specifically designed for me, but for the people it's designed for, it does everything you'd want it to do and more, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. I personally love the Miata, even though I'd never be able to own one on my own just for comfort reasons and things along those lines, but it is a great option if you guys are in the market and you try it and you like it. Don't be dissuaded by people's opinions, because I really do think this car is one of a kind and it's special.